So I've been seeing on the internet a lot of debates about should you be actually kicking in a street fight. There are people that are even saying that you shouldn't even be kicking in a street fight because as soon as you kick, you're going to lose balance and all this. Some people even saying you shouldn't even do spinning kicks or anything like that. So can you actually kick in a street fight? Short answer is yes, but the thing is you have to be trained for them. If you've never trained before, I wouldn't recommend kicking because if you don't know how to kick, you don't know how to use them. Because here's another thing: if you can't do these kicks under pressure, you will never be able to do them in a street fight, especially without aggression from the attacker. See, another thing is you have to be very quick with your kicking too, because if you're too slow, you can get grappled, you can get taken down to the ground, you can, your leg can get trapped, and then you can get, they can come in and, the thing is you have to be very well trained for kicking, and you have to use it under pressure, and you have to know how, you have to understand distance with your opponent, the footwork as well, to set up these kicks properly and quickly. You have to make sure also you're not telegraphing your kicks, because if your attacker can see you're about to kick, you know, that's just an advantage for them because they can plan ahead. You know what I mean? So you have to be quick and unpredictable with your kick as well. Also, another thing is you need a lot of flexibility as well, so you can do them effortlessly. You don't want to pull a muscle or something when you're trying to do these kicks. Now, when it comes to spinning kicks, to use them in a street fight, you have to get a very rare opportunity, and it has to be kind of almost like a finishing blow or like a counter finishing blow, if that kind of makes sense. Like you have to understand how to counter properly, because to do a spin, you need that 1 second. You need a 1 second. How could I say? You need that 1 second free time without your opponent attacking. So when you do the spin, you have to know how to kind of confuse the opponent to buy that 1 second, if that kind of makes sense. But it's very hard to do, almost probably I would say impossible. That's why I say it's very rare for you to pull off a spinning kick in the street fight, and you have to obviously have to be trained for it, you know, because otherwise you're not going to have a chance. If you're doing too slow, and your opponent can see you're doing a spinning kick, you're gonna get taken to the ground and bashed. You know what I mean? Like you have to be trained for it. But yeah, actually, you know what? The best example I can give, if you watch MMA fighters, the way they do it, how they kind of feint and they do a spin. They use the spin as a feint attack, and then they follow up. You know how the opponent kind of gets confused and they get them and then get the knockout. If you've seen those videos, yeah, go watch those videos if they're around. They're around. That's probably the best example. Like how they confuse, how they find the opening, how they counter. That's probably the best example I can give. But that also applies with kicking or even punching in general, because when it comes to kick, the thing is, as soon as you do a kick, as soon as your one leg lifts off the ground, is you're only balanced with one leg. So if something goes wrong, you will lose balance and fall to the ground very easily. You know what I mean? So you have to be trained to use them in combat. You have to be trained. You can't avoid that. You know what I mean? If you don't know what you're doing, you try a kick. Yeah, it could work, but if your opponent sees it coming, you're done for. Now, I'll tell you my experience. I've worked as a security guard before. I've trained in Taekwondo. I have never been able to pull off a spinning kick in a street fight. I've kicked before, kind of, but never a spinning kick. It's a very, very, very rare thing to do. Very rare opportunity and very, very rare to be seen in a street fight, because street fights don't go for very long. Like 30 seconds, 15 seconds. No more than that. You're not going to pull off a spinning kick in the street fight unless it goes on, you know, but that's not going to happen. You know what I mean? Because in my experience, what I've seen and what I've dealt with is when the opponent gets tired, the attacker gets tired, and they run off. That's what happens, you know? So, like I said, kicking is kind of rare. Oh, you can do low kicks, but kicking is very rare in a street fight. Use them if you're trained to use them. That's my message. Only if you're trained. Otherwise, forget doing a kick. You're better off just punching and blocking and stuff like that. Anyway, that's my opinion on it. And yeah, thanks for watching. Oh, and guys, remember, like I always say, stay away from street fights. Always defuse the situation and leave. Don't get into a street fight.